So GT's power scaling is kinda crazy. Allow me to explain, but first, please, if you don't mind, watch to the end. It really does help the channel. Any constructive criticism is appreciated. Now let's get started. Okay, so GT is a non-canon continuation of the Dragon Ball Z series, but it's strange because as far as we know, Super isn't a part of its continuity. We know this because the Super Saiyan God, in fact, none of the transformations that are achieved in Super are ever utilized or referenced. The same goes for all of the arcs, newly introduced characters. None of them are even mentioned. But with all that being said, an argument can be made that Dragon Ball GT's universe is stronger than Super's by a long shot. Since it takes place a long time after Z, I think it's 11 years, Goku is now able to go toe-to-toe with opponents like Oob, who was the reincarnation of Kid Buu, who was easily a universal level opponent. Goku is also fighting with him in his base form, and due to his encounter with General Rilldo, who was stated to be stronger than Majin Buu. And when he makes a statement, most people think it's ambiguous or contentious because we don't know which Buu he's talking about. I believe he's talking about every Buu. It makes sense. He would not say such a general statement if he wasn't talking about Buu as a whole. Goku defeats him in Super Saiyan, but he said he could easily beat him in base. This means Goku has far surpassed his previous peak showcased in Z, which already had multi-solar system to universal level statements. Vegeta also surpassed his previous peak, though the way you get to this conclusion is a little bit different than Goku, since due to GT's writing style, Vegeta doesn't have much statements or feats besides his Shadow Dragon arc to suggest that he has become stronger and surpassed his peak in his base form. His more concrete feats come from his performance against the Tuffle-infused Gohan and Goten. Most people misunderstand or misinterpret his defeat. We forget Baby is a genetically modified and engineered Tuffle. He's a parasite. He increases his host's power level. This information makes his bout with the two way more impressive. Baby was even able to access an exclusive transformation to him. When he infected Vegeta, he was able to access an exclusive transformation of a form Vegeta didn't even have, Super Saiyan 3. Or as he referred to it as, Super Baby 2, who has many outrageous implications in regards to his power, as well the major one being he was able to defeat a Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and Vegeta eventually surpasses this baby parasite. He infuses himself with tons of blood wave to increase his power exponentially, matching Goku's full power Super Saiyan 4, which, let's unpack that. Super Saiyan 4 is described as the pinnacle of Saiyan power, a form so oppressive that it's able to break the mystical binds of a curse placed by the Black Star Dragon Balls, temporarily of course, allowing Goku to access his adult body. It does this because SSJ4 or Super Saiyan 4 isn't just a normal transformation or multiplier. In order to draw out a Saiyan's maximum potential, it forces the body to enter its most prime state in order to keep up with its power. But don't worry,
I can assure you that after all of this is over, I'll give you a nice burial.
the 13 original Z movies are some of the most hyped original pieces of Dragon Ball media, and it's plausible that they share the same continuity with the Dragon Ball GT timeline, meaning Fusion Reborn, Wrath of the Dragon, and the Broly trilogy all exist within the same timeline as the GT series. But to be clear, I'm not saying the Z movies are manga canon. What I'm saying is they exist within a Toei continuity, strictly anime. The Z movies are also Toei productions that GT visually and thematically aligns with. So when I reference movie feats, I'm using them as contextual scaling within the Toei framework. Fusion Reborn, Goku was warping the entirety of hell and shaking 3 infinite-sized realms, with the afterlife being stated to be void of the concept of space and time and infinite. He does this just by transforming into Super Saiyan 3. And in GT, he was going to destroy the entirety of hell just by powering up, which, as previously stated, is infinite. And he did that in his base form. Now stick with me here, because
You've gone too far. Now you've got to deal with me.
going back to Fusion Reborn, Goku and Vegeta face Janemba, an enemy that can slice through dimensions and realms, even warp reality with ease. These Z movies provide us with tons of feats and statements that make the GT timeline scaling more complex and impressive. For instance, DBZ Broly destroyed an entire quarter of the infinite-sized universe. Goku in the Return to Cooler movie heads to Namek to confront Metal Cooler, and he attempts to use the instant transmission technique, but something happened. Cooler moved so fast that he entered that transitory key dimension that exists outside normal space and time. They begin trading blows within that dimension. This shows us instant transmission isn't just teleportation, he's moving at that speed. I'm not claiming anyone exists outside or beyond space-time. Entering a realm outside of normal space-time by raw speed pushes characters into massively FTL to irrelevant and immeasurable speed. Now, with all the information presented and a couple statements from the GT Perfect files, this makes GT Goku and Vegeta high multiversal to outerversal with massively FTL to irrelevant speed. I welcome any counter arguments. Let me know in the comments. But as far as I'm concerned,
Sorry about all that. I'm surprised as well. Surprised at how strong I've become.